Today, we're going to talk about slope. Our learning target is I can calculate slope. But before we calculate slope, we need to understand what slope is. So here in our picture, we see someone downhill skiing, and there is a slope here. A slope is a steepness. In this case, the slope is how steep is this mountain that this guy is skiing on, or what is the steepness of his skis, the way he's coming down that mountain. If we put a line underneath him, we could actually determine the steepness of this line if we put a coordinate plane under here. So the steepness is our slope. And in this case, he's going downhill. So from left to right, the guy is skiing down the hill. We very rarely see people skiing uphill. This slope would be a negative because it's going down. Now, let's take a look at this one. This time we have a bicyclist who's also on a hill, and this slope is going uphill. And if we draw a line underneath the bicyclist, we are wondering what the slope might be of this line. And if we put a coordinate plane under here, again, we could determine that steepness. If that's the slope, how steep is the line? That's what we're looking for. So this picture has lots of slopes. It has slopes going up, it has slopes going down, it has slopes that are flat, and it has slopes that are straight up and down. So we actually have here slopes that are vertical. The support beam here for the wires is a vertical slope. Here at the bridge itself, it's flat, so that would have zero slope. There are 4 different kinds of slopes. The 4 different kinds of slopes are positive, negative, 0, and undefined. Positive slopes are going up, and we read slopes the same way you read words, from left to right. The negative slope is going down. Again, this is from left to right. The 0 slope would be a horizontal line. It would be flat. There's really no slope there if it's flat. It's a 0 slope. And undefined is a vertical line. So, Mr. Slope Guy. Mr. Slope Guy can help you have a visual reminder of what type of slope you have. So, Mr. Slope Guy looks like this. We have a positive slope and a negative slope. We have a vertical line which is undefined, so there's a U. Then we have the horizontal line which has a 0 slope. There's our Mr. Slope Guy. positive slope. Let's look at an example. We're going to draw a line segment of a positive slope. And I'm going to start here. And I'm going to go all the way across. Because when we do start doing our lines, they will go all the way across the coordinate plane. And we're going to determine what is this slope? What is the actual slope of this line segment? It is going up from left to right. So it is positive. It is going up from left to right. So the way I'm going to calculate my slope is I'm going to pick 2 points on that slope. Excuse me, 2 points on that line that clearly cross the grid. Okay? It clearly crossed the corner of the grid. It clearly crossed the corner of the grid. So as I look at this, I see one right here, and it clearly crosses the corner of the grid, right here. And I see one right here that also clearly crosses the corner of the grid. You want to make sure as you do this that you are finding the corners of the grid. You want to be on the line. You want 2 points, and those points need to be on the line at the corners of the grid. And what I'm actually looking for slope is the rise over the run. The rise, how much up does the line go? And the run is how far sideways. So starting with the lower of the 2 points I picked, I'm going to count how many times, how many boxes do I have to go up until I'm on the same line as my second point. So 1, 2 boxes up. So my rise is 2. And then I count the number of boxes I have to move as a run, either left or right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my rise over run, or my slope, is equal to 2 over 5. And I leave it as a fraction. I like slopes to actually be in fraction form, because then I can understand that from 1 point to a second point on the line, I'm going up 2 and to the right 5. And if I did that again for another point on this line, which I have another point right here, I'm going to get the same result every single time. So from this point, I go up 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On a line, I will get the same slope from any 2 points on the line. So this slope is 2 over 5. My negative slope. Let's put a line on here again. Okay. Again, I know this one is going to be negative because from left to right, I am going down. I still need to find the rise and the run. So I'm still going to pick 2 points that clearly cross the grid. Pick 2 points. Let's see, let's take this point and this point. I can see both of those clearly cross the grid. From the lower point that I picked, I'm going to count up until I'm on the same line as the second point I picked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My rise is 5. And now I'm going to go to the left, and the left is considered a negative direction on a number line, so I know this is going to be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for my rise over run, I have 5 over negative 5. So my slope is 5 over negative 5, which is equal to negative 1. And I don't have to keep this one as a fraction because it is an integer. I don't want slopes to be decimals, however. So I either want to have a fraction or an integer value. Zero slope. We said that zero slope is a horizontal line. And let's look and see how that illustrates. Zero slope. Okay, flat line. If I pick 2 points on my line, here's a point, and here's a point. I do not rise at all. So my rise is 0. I do not rise at all. This particular line, I run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 0 divided by any number equals 0, so my slope is 0, because I have no rise. I do not rise. And our undefined slope, we said that an undefined slope is a vertical line so I'm going to actually look at this vertical line right here on the axis, the y-axis. It is a vertical line. If I pick 2 points, here's a point, and here's a point, I do rise. I'm rising 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope, rise over run, 4. But I do not go to the left or right at all, so I'm running 0. And if I try to divide by 0, I am undefined. So this slope is undefined because I cannot divide by 0.